You know, I like the Philippines. I like living here, but I hate working on cars in this country because the Philippines, especially the rural Philippines, is in the absolute dark ages for auto parts. And it's probably not just the Philippines. If you're watching this from maybe Laos or Botswana, Tanzania or something, Kenya or something, you may have the same problem. You cannot always get the parts or the tools that you need to do the job correctly, and you just have to get creative, and that's what this video is about. I needed one of these that you see right here. This is a 3/16 line flaring die to make a double flare for a brake line. On my Jeep, I had brake lines like this, just refrigeration tubing, single flare. This is a gigantic no-no in automotive land, and you do not use this kind of crap on a car. This is okay for your fridge or air conditioner, but it's not okay for your car. And this is what I had on one of these homemade non-factory built owner Jeeps, and the brakes blew out. So I replaced a couple of brake lines today. Finally got this tool made, got it working, and I'm going to show you how to do it in case you're in a similar situation. Um, yeah, literally, there was only one guy online who had this part, and I couldn't get him to give me a straight answer if he actually had it in an inventory or not. They have it online, but having it actually shippable to you is totally different. That was Carlo at Jeff Tools in Manila on OLX. And because Carlo couldn't get his act together and at least give me an answer, I just gave up and I said, the heck with this. I can just go to a machine shop and I can make this thing. So, so anyway, I went to a local machine shop here in the island province where I live, and I just had them make this. I think normally it would be made out of hardened steel. This is pretty mild stuff, so you kind of have to use it carefully or you'll kind of wear it out, but it's easier to machine anyway. Um, I don't know how thick this piece is from top to bottom. I really don't know. Didn't measure it. The dished out area in the center, if you feel like you need to duplicate this, the dished out section for, again, a 3/16 die is about 11 millimeters. And I just copied pictures that I found online. The depth of the dish is about 1.5 millimeters. The hole in the center is 3/32. And that little stem that you see sticking up right there is just a piece of stainless steel welding rod. So that's all this is just is that it cost me about $5 to make this at the machine shop. Now, obviously, if you're living down the street from an AutoZone, or if you can order something online in the U.S. and have it shipped to you in 24 hours or whatever, don't even go to the trouble of making one of these. This is just last resort kind of, if you have to go MacGyver, this is what you can do. So this thing actually does work. Here is an actual, flare that is made with this. Now, I know that some real mechanic is going to be just looking at this flare going, I can make one better than that with my $300 tool. You shouldn't use that on your car. Well, look, I don't have $300 to pay for the tool, and I'm not in a place where I can buy one, and I made 4 other ones just like this today, and they go on the Jeep and they just fine and they don't leak. Now, you don't always get really nice results like this, and if you don't, you just pull the nut back, cut it off, and try again. And you just have to keep doing that. And one thing that I did learn, this may be helpful for other people, is you put the die in there like this. You have to hold it with a pair of pliers, because these little line flaring tools that you buy locally are too small to be used with a die. So you have to pop this piece off in order to get enough clearance to put this on with the die. And then once you do that, then you've got this turning on the die, and it'll spin the die, and it turns the contact between the die and the brake line is the point where it's going to turn, and that'll twist up your brake line. You just want it to be pushed straight down, just like this, without any kind of twisting. So that's what I found gets the best results. Once you've done this step, then you go back and you put this little booger on here, and then you just flare it normally. This is a very aggravating system to use, but it does work. I would really not recommend that anybody does this unless it's a case of last resort, like it is for me. But I'm just thrilled that I got this done without having to special order something from the U.S. and pay for 1 week shipping or something like that. So I hope that this has been helpful to somebody else, maybe in another third world country that is also in the automotive dark ages, like the Philippines unfortunately is. You know, and I say that not to be cruel or anything. I mean, this is my host country. I do like it here, but I mean, come on. When you go into an auto parts store, not only do they not have a computer to look up a part for something like a 10-year-old factory built Toyota or something, they don't even have a book. They don't have a list, you know, and you can go in and say, hey, look, you know, I need an oil filter for a 99 Corolla or something. And they'll say that they need a sample. They've got to actually see the old one. They can't do anything without that. And and it is so infuriating to try to do work on cars here. But in spite of the way that things are, I was able to get this done. And in case somebody else is in a similar predicament, this can be done. Good luck with it. And uh, hope you enjoy the video. And thanks for watching. Bye bye.